Hey guys, so I think I'll talk about this Vortex Summit SS tripod since some of you were asking questions about it. It's 54.5 inches tall, 1.8 pounds, and it actually feels lighter than that. I don't know if that's including the, well, I guess that's what it is. That's what their specs say. I haven't weighed it. But I think it's going to be a really good backpacking tripod, and at about $125, you know, it's definitely a lot cheaper than most of the really light ones out there. It's really easy to use. You know, you can, that's it right there. We had it out in the wind, probably a 15-20 mile an hour wind, and with it extended all the way up, there was a fair amount of vibration, but that's to be expected. It's not a heavy wind-bearing tripod, and it's probably really not made to be used at full standing height anyway, but it's nice to be able to do it if you need it, and when it weighs less than most sitting height tripods, it's just a plus anyway. But it has a hook if you want to hook on weights. I usually don't mess around with those, but it has it, which is nice. There's different positions for the legs, different angles, and it locks in at a few different positions also. So if you're working on a side hill, you can put one leg up for the high side and leave the other two down. As far as opening and closing it, it's really fast. Just grab the bottom, twist everything to the left, and close it up and tighten it back up. If you just want one section out, loosen the top section, lock it down, and you're good. So really fast tripod, and you can stop these things at any length that you want to fine tune. So I'll definitely have one of these in my backpack this year. 14 inches, I believe. Yeah, 14 inches closed, which is nice and small. It's got a ball head on it, no handle obviously, and I like to have a handle, so I was thinking probably drill and tap a hole and just make my own little handle to come off it, since it feels like it's rugged enough to handle something like that. If you want to bring it over, and we'll just put the scope on there and show how smooth that ball head is. I was talking to Elk Nut the other day about it, just trying to get a feel for it, and he says it's great for the 50s, which is what we've tested out on it. I put my binoculars on there with the Vortex Unadapter. That worked great. Elk Nut said he's had the 15 by 56s on there. It's worked great. Works fine with the 65 class spotting scopes. Anything above that is when you're starting to push the limits of this little ball head. So, put that on there, lock it down. It's really fast, and well, you can see it's got a pretty smooth knob on it. It's really consistent. The more you tighten it, it's kind of, everything's tightening down at the same intervals. But if you want to just do real fine, slow stuff, you can see there's a tiny bit of shakiness in it. Again, I've got this post raised all the way up, so that's going to create more shakiness. But it's just really, you can make, we found you can make really small movements with it, and it just stops pretty much right where you're trying to stop it. You might have to go, if you're on high power and you want to stop it at a certain spot, you might have to go back just a little bit because there's a tiny bit of rebound. But for what it is, a little tiny ball head like that, it feels really good. I mean, you lock it down even more, and it's stopping right about where you want it to stop. You can probably see when you drop that thing down and lock it, there's not as much shakiness when you're moving it around. So that shakiness isn't coming out of the head, it's actually coming out of that post being raised up. Lock it down, and well, I don't have the screw and the plate tightened that much, but if I grab the head all the way locked down, it's just barely got any play in it at all, so that's nice. Again, if you're on a side hill, I know most of you guys know all this stuff, but just say you wanted to fine tune it for something. Go a little bit more there, a little bit more there, and just like that, you've got it set up to put on a rock or whatever you want to use it on. So it's a really versatile tripod, and like I said, for about 125 bucks, it's hard to beat. Probably the best deal I've seen on one of this quality, this weight, and this kind of packability. So again, I really like talking to Paul at Elk Nut for stuff like this, and he gives good deals, and he's a hunter also. So yeah, look into it. That's all I've got to say for now. One last look at it all the way up. If I can get it there. Oh, one other thing. Elknut said, he said if you get one of these things and you want to put some vegetable oil on there, just put a light coating of vegetable oil and then wipe it all the way off, and it'll just leave a tiny film on there, and it'll help with how smooth all those legs are operating. So that was a pretty good tip. I haven't done that yet, but I can see where it would come in handy because they like to stick just a little bit. So, yep, that's it.